Okay, it looks like I'm in a valley of all these thatched roof homes that are really pristine. And the valley behind it, I could just see green for miles. And the sun, the shadow of the clouds, are on the earth over the green. It's really sunny.
Okay.
And I was standing at the edge of water. So the houses are along this waterway. And the houses they're just so, they're glistening. Everything is glistening.
Okay. So you said that the roofs are thatched. What are the walls made out of on these buildings?
I don't know if it's wood or brick or I can't tell. The bottom part of the structure, they have a window. They're all just like, I've seen them before on the hillsides in Ireland when I took the train through. They kind of look like that, but those houses had colors. And these are like whitewash.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Is there anyone around you?
No, I don't see anyone.
Okay. As you look at these buildings, does one call out to you more than the other?
Yeah, there's one it's really lit up. The other ones are kind of like background, but there are very few. And there's not more houses for a while. There's just a little cluster of these right here.
Okay. That one that's lit up, do you feel like you would like to go in there?
Sure.
Let's go in there. And now you're there. What do you see?
It's my house.
Okay. Describe it.
It's really simple. It's strikingly clean and ordered.
Furniture?
Simple. Yeah. There's a table with kind of like two high back chairs that are wood. Everything looks like it was Hardison wood, but it's these colors that are, I don't know, they're pretty hues, like beach hues, but muted. And it's like wood floors, like thick plank.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a window across from the table, a little cooking area.
So describe the cooking area. How is that made? How do you cook on that thing?
Well, there's like a prep area, but there's a fire. It's weird because the fire's on the other side of the table. It's really big. It's kind of, I guess, the fireplace.
Okay.
But I don't know.
Do you cook on that?
I don't think so.
Is there anything else in the kitchen that you might cook on?
There's not food or anything. There's like grasses and stuff. There's water in the kettle.
Okay. What do you do with that?
I think I drink it. I wash. It looks like the things don't really get used. Oh, like, I don't know if I use them. They don't look used.
Okay. What are they doing there? What do you think they're there for?
I don't know. I feel like I have a set, like I'm staging something.
Okay.
Oh, this is weird. Okay. I
It's
don't
okay.
know.
It's all right. So, do you feel like you eat anything?
I don't.
No?
I don't.
Okay. So, in this structure that you call your house, what do you do there?
I'm looking around to see the room behind it. It's like one big space, but it's kind of sectioned, I guess, for rest. What is that?
Do you see a bed?
Is it a bed? It could be a bed. It's like oh, this feels weird. I don't. Oh, okay.
What's going on?
None of it feels. It feels like I'm trying to figure out what is useful. Oh my gosh, this is so weird. What is useful and the norm to live here, so I don't feel like I'm used to this environment
Okay.
and this way of living. So I'm learning by watching what other people do, and I'm setting it up according to what I see, how other people are doing it. Oh, I don't think I'm from here.
That's okay. Let's focus on these other people that you're watching. Where are they at?
They're in their homes and they go back and forth. They seem like a sweet, easy kind of people, kind of, beings.
Mm-hmm.
And they spend time together in their little units of people, like families. And they interact with each other. But they're really content to be just who they are, and in their, in this environment, they seem content and harmonious.
And these people that you're watching, are you watching them actually eat food and sleep and go about their day?
Yeah, I peek on it that they're doing that. I don't eat.
Are they aware that you're watching them?
I don't think so.
Okay. So, go ahead.
I'm like much taller than everybody, but I can not appear to be so. Everybody's smaller than me.
Okay.
What the fuck is this?
And how are they dressed?
They have white linens, a lot of white linens that they wear.
Mm-hmm.
Linens, is that what that is? Yeah, but they also have head coverings, like bonnet style stuff. The sun is always pretty bright, but it doesn't feel harsh to me. But they seem to wear something to shade themselves.
Okay.
It's kind of like thatched hats, bonnets.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like that.
Made out of straw and that sort of
I
thing?
think so.
Okay. All right. And the color of their skin?
They're white people.
Okay. And how do they get around? What do they use to move?
I'm only seeing them walk. I'm not seeing... They seem to have animals. There aren't a lot. And only the horses. Yeah, I don't see...
What do they do with the horses?
There are people that bring stuff and they use horses, but there are no horses around here that stay here. Oh.
And when they bring stuff, how do they bring it? I mean, obviously with the horses, but on something or on the horse or what?
It looks like there's something connected to the horse that pulls it.
So they're using like wagons or something?
Yes,
okay.
something like that. Yes. This feels confused that it hasn't figured it all out yet.
Hasn't figured what out?
Everything that they do and why they do it, the way that they're doing it.
That's why you're watching them?
Yeah.
Okay. And why do you think you're watching them to understand what they're doing? What's the purpose of that?
Yeah, that's a great question. Why am I watching these people? I'm hearing that I wanted to visit these, this collective of incarnate beings, because I'd like to see if I want to experience it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really scared though.
Why is that?
Because it's not as straightforward as I thought it would be. I need to learn to adapt.
Okay.
And I don't, the food thing, I don't get the food thing.
You don't understand food?
Yeah, I don't understand the food.
So, in this incarnation, or in this being that you are, how do you receive energy?
I just do. I'm so white, but I'm white because I absorb all the light. It just doesn't, I don't know, it's an energetic, it's
okay.
just who I am.
That's all right. So, this body that you see, is it real and physical? Can you touch it?
It doesn't feel solid.
Okay.
But I have an outline. It's just not solid.
Okay. That's all right. So, is there anything else about this scene that you'd like to describe?
No, but when I was landing, a face kept popping up.
Okay.
One I know, and her name is Shanine, and her face kept popping up.
Why do you think that was?
I don't know.
Okay.
I just feel like I needed to say it.
Okay, that's fine. So let's do this. Let's move forward from that. Excuse me, go ahead.
Yes.
Okay. So let's move forward from that scene to a time where you've made a decision after observing these people. You're making this decision to do whatever it is you're going to do, and now you're there. What's going on?
All right, I'm trying not to question it. So I'm a person, and I don't know the time frame is one of Earth. I don't know what this century would be.
That's okay.
But I'm a woman with dark, wavy hair and fair skin, and I've gone out. I've seen this before. I have ordered the carriage to take me out into the forest. I was upset because of something. Somebody I loved was they loved me too, but we can't be together, and now they're going to be getting married. And I was upset because my father wouldn't let me marry that person.
Why not?
He was trying to protect me because he thinks that this person didn't love me, that they just wanted to marry into. So there's this whole political thing, game of chess that goes on. And that's the perspective that he saw it. And he might have been right, but I still feel hurt.
Okay. So now you go out into the forest, then what happens?
I just go there to cry, and because I still have connection with all the other life forms.
Mm-hmm.
And it's where I feel like I'm at home.
How do you have this connection with the other life forms?
I haven't incarnated this time or much to where it's gone. I maintain and feel. I don't know why.
Okay.
I maintain the connection, and it's how I still get some of my sustenance through these other light beings.
Okay. When you're alone with them?
Yeah, just connecting in with them. They see me coming. They can see my signatures. We see each other's signatures.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of signatures are already waning. Many have. Few have the visible signatures.
Okay. So move on from that. You've come back from the forest to another important time. What's happening?
It feels like there's been a lot of calculating.
Okay.
And now it seems like our family's in peril.
In what way?
I don't know. I think they're gonna we're like at a stalemate, and they're gonna take over.
Who is they?
I don't know, the game changers. They seemed friendly, but just other aristocrats that now have gained footing on the inside of our family. And it wasn't through me, but it happened anyway.
Okay. So your family is prominent?
Yes.
All right. And this aristocracy that's going on, what is your relationship? Is it political? What is it?
Mine?
Well, you talk about the power of the family. What is the family power?
They were the rulers of that area of the kingdom. There's all little kingdoms all over. But ours was a peaceful one, and my father was trying to maintain that. And I recognize him.
Describe him.
He looks strong and stern, but really sweet eyes, and you can't mistake it. He's got a good heart. He's got white hair and a mustache. His mustache and his eyebrows are rather dark compared to his hair. And he's tall.
Okay.
But my mother's not around. I don't have a mother.
What happened to her?
I was really young when she died. I'm not sure.
Okay.
But she wasn't needed. I don't know.
All right, that's okay. And when you look at your father, how is he dressed? What's he wearing?
So he has white pants on with this vest that's kind of like, it's really nice. It's like maybe animal, but it also has a vest of metal knots on it.
Okay.
Maybe whatever, but he has like pristine white outfit underneath this vest that's kind of long, and he's wearing a crown. Wow, this is cool.
What does the crown look like? Describe that.
It's really looks heavy. And it's got intricate smithing, but it's gold, but it's not shiny gold, but it's gold. And it's beautiful, it has little jewels. But it seems more like the metal, the things that are in his vest.
Mm-hmm.
It goes well with that. And because we live near the sea, I think he goes out to sea a lot. But I'm not sure.
Okay. All right. Does he wear any kind of weapon?
I think there's a sword on him.
Okay. What does that look like?
That same metal.
Okay.
It's kind of like... But I don't know. Yeah. I mean, that's not what he always wears, but that's what he has on right now. And he's standing there because he's letting me know what's happening. And I think he wants to get me to safety.
Okay. All right. And you said that there is a faction that's trying to take control?
It looks like they already have. It's just a matter of if we're going to be able to get away, I guess. I don't know.
All right.
I don't feel very connected to this. I understand that, it's important, but I don't feel connected to it.
Why is that?
I really, it feels, that myself and my father were there, in that place, in those roles, because we were trying to hold off what now is happening anyway, and what he's letting me know on other levels is that it's a lot worse than we thought. We're more outnumbered, but not in people, in energy.
Okay. So you would say that would you consider your energy light?
Yes,
and
absolutely.
the other energy you would consider to be dark?
At this time, that was the case, yes.
Okay. So let's move forward just a little bit after this in this same lifetime. What happens?
I decide to leave.
Leave how?
Leave the body.
Oh, okay. And how do you do that?
How did I do it? For the incarnation, it looks like I took an elixir.
Uh-huh.
But I decided to leave because we needed to go make a better plan and come back in.
Okay. So the incarnation ended?
Yes.
And do you know what happened to your father in that incarnation?
Same.
He took the elixir too?
I don't think he took an elixir. I think he tried to stay and hold them off and let them kill him, because by them killing him, it helped keep those that were in alliance wanting to keep the dark at bay.
Okay.
In his honor.
Okay.
Because he had to show he was honorable with standing with them. If he took the elixir, it wouldn't. They would feel like he took the coward's way out.
Okay, understandable. All right, so now that you're on the other side, you've taken the elixir, the consciousness has left the body, you're on the other side. Now what happens?
Whew. Well, the first thing is it feels amazing. It's like getting out of the tightest dress ever.
Okay.
Sorry.
That's okay.
That's truly how it feels.
That's fine.
Okay, so...
What happens next?
I'm being briefed.
Describe.
I feel disappointed and...
Why are you disappointed?
Because the expectation going in is always... It never matches up, it seems. You know, I've sent in so many and I've gone in myself. And so we're back at this table. There's a whole bunch of us. This consciousness can only presume as a table.
Mm-hmm.
And we've all had these experiences in different areas of this place, this planet. And we're all seeming to come up on the same situation, that it's a lot worse. That we haven't outsmarted anybody. We really need to redesign the strategy and give more credit to what has already been in place.
Okay.
For a long time.
So why do you need to strategize at all? What is the purpose of what you're doing?
Why are we doing this? It's a directive.
From who?
It's a source directive.
Okay. For
but
what?
That it's time that this turn back. It reversed. It has to turn back. It's gone too far.
Okay, so when you were incarnated, you were talking about the light and the dark, and you're saying that the dark went too far?
Yes.
Okay. And Source has decreed that
yes,
these people that you're sitting around this table with, that you guys come up with some sort of solution?
That's the appearance of it.
Okay. All right. And from your perspective at the table with these other people, do you feel like there's other tables that other people are sitting at trying to come up with the same plan?
Possibly.
Okay.
I think that there's many working on it.
Okay. All right. And you said that you didn't give credit. Credit to what? To the dark? To the...
Yeah, we didn't think that it was... they were as savvy and had such a stronghold as they do.
Okay. And when you think about the dark and their stronghold, are you just focused on Earth, or are there other locations?
At this planning table, it's about Earth,
Okay.
because that's the major pin that supposedly if we get that, it's almost simultaneous. There are all different of us groups having to focus on this certain areas simultaneously. So that, but this one, of course, I feel, it feels that this is the one that went too far, and because the living being, I answer the living being. I answered it, like many of us. We heard her, and we answered it.
You say we heard her. Who's her?
So that's the interpretation, is the feminine of that that the consciousness seems to represent for me. The planet herself.
Okay. So the planet, you say you heard the planet's call for help.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. And how did you hear this call? How does that happen?
From here.
The heart.
I got a direct communication.
From the planet?
I did.
Okay.
We've known each other. Known each other?
How does that work?
I don't know. Let me see. We share the same. She feels so.
It's okay. You share the same energy? The same heart?
Whatever this is, the origination point.
Okay. It's okay. It's all right.
Okay.
So you're back at this table with these other people, and you've come up with whatever the plan is going to be. What's the plan?
Okay. Time. We have to do it. Synchronize the times simultaneously, and they'll cascade. So they have a ceiling, so we actually have to run it out until their ceiling, their furthest point. How do we do that?
When you say ceiling, what do you mean?
There's they can only work into so far.
Who's they?
Okay, so they're the dark. I'm hearing rogue. I don't know what that means.
That's okay.
Those who have what's the word? What's the word? Like, several words are coming that are not fitting, like imprisoned, quarantined, whatever, enslaved, and suppressed the light of the ascension of the light.
Mm-hmm.
Ascension of the light. Those who did that, they only have the abilities to go so far. So we have to work above their ability, but yet we have to get within, which is what we thought we were doing, and we've tried it in different ways. And the plan is what is now termed starseed. People think they've coined that term. It was given to them. But we have to deploy in many ways from the inside while we're making sure that we're coming from above their capacity and in. What the hell does that mean? They're showing me pictures. I don't have words. I'm sorry.
So their capacity would be 5th density, and you're going to come in from the 6th density with the higher energetic?
Higher energetic. Absolutely.
Okay.
Whatever their threshold is, we're coming in above it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to hear in the meeting, and my system is trying to get the communication and give it to you in words. Yes, the higher energetic that we are, but we need to bring it inside at the same time. And that's what the deployment, and it's going to go in times, in waves. It's going to go in waves. That's what that means. Okay. That's why, because there are certain points where we've figured out how we can encroach on their hold.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And as we're doing that from the inside, the more we come inside and the waves grow, the implosion helps to greatly deflate their hold. It's, oh wow, it's...
So you're energetically containing them from the outside while the starseeds come in and push the light from the inside out.
Blow it up, yes.
Okay.
And by us detonating from within and loosening the hold, as soon as the external encroachment, as we do that, we squeeze, it easily releases from her. It's going to release. It's like really loosening it. And then even more and more and more, like really break it up. Like a plaque.
Right. Okay, so you've come to with this plan at your council, or your meeting.
Yeah.
What happens next?
I insist on going back in.
Okay. So let's move forward until you've gone back in, and now you're there. What's going on?
Well, I can't go back in right away.
Why not?
Seems like... Because I have to keep traveling, because the plan includes... Wow. The plan includes... It's going to need a lot of the frequencies that these have not gained. They don't have that frequency. Oh, what the hell?
Who are you talking about? You say these. Who are these?
The ones doing this, the ones we're stopping, they only have a certain capacity. And why?
You mean the negatives?
Yes.
Okay.
So I'll call them that, negatives.
Mm-hmm.
So the negatives, and some of us have the ability, we can go outside of these, this quadrant of the galaxy is the worst.
Right.
But we can go to others. We could go to other galaxies, but we could even just go to the other quadrants. And for whatever reason, what is the reason?
The reason for what?
I'm asking because they're saying that, so I'm one of them, that I hold the different, I can pull in the different frequencies, I can carry them in with me.
Right.
And then I have to go do that, collect them first.
Oh, before you incarnate again?
Before I come back in.
Okay. So
this is so freaking weird.
So what does that look like? Take us through that. You're going to collect these frequencies. How do you do that?
It's a good journey. I get to experience and re-experience so many this mind blowing, can't even, there's no words to some of the experiences.
Right.
And what they look like, but just in the feeling. So I'm going to close my eyes because I can't try and tell you what the pictures look like.
Okay.
It's just all these, it's like a psychedelic color harmonic love fest that moves through your being, and you capture those harmonics. And they're all different. They have different colors that we don't have here. And they vary, and some are really smooth, and some are just so...
So let's sit there for a minute and...
Exciting.
Let that wash over you.
I forgot this is true.
Let that wash through you, that beauty. And when you're out of session and you listen to this back, you're going to have the same experience.
Oh. Okay. There are so many more experiences of beauty than we can have here. Oh, okay.
But they're coming.
I just feel so blessed.
Wonderful.
We all deserve to remember and have the opportunity for this. That's why I came back.
Okay, so now that you've gathered all of this energy and these frequencies, what do you do?
I first have to go to the step down process.
Walk us through that. What is that like?
What is that like? What the heck is that? It's a descension. People call it a descension.
Okay.
So you have to go through a system. It varies. Yes, Alpha Centauri.
Okay. What happens there?
So for the planet, it depends on what planet you're bringing it to. So I'm coming to Earth, and I have to go through Lyra. There's something there. There's all these templates you have to pick up.
All right.
So I need the templates, and I was on Pleiades for a while, so it takes a while. In our time, you know, it could seem, but it's simultaneous. So it's no time, but in this explanation, oh, this is so magical. So Alcyon, I was on for a long time, and because of my frequencies, I usually have a high, I get to have more leadership roles.
Okay.
Because every time I'm in a role, even as I step down, I get to impart the frequencies even to those. But I start experiencing the peril of what I'm going to be experiencing on Earth, on Pleiades. There are certain areas in the Pleiades.
What do you mean peril?
The difficulty of Earth.
Oh. Okay.
It's you have to adjust. And I also have to keep retuning to make sure that once I get there, I can activate the frequencies within.
All right.
Whew.
So what's that like? What are you doing? This peril. How are you experiencing this peril?
So I feel like there was an experience I'm distant from it now. Why is that? Why am I distant from it? She said, okay, it's not necessary for the detail. It doesn't need to be reviewed like a life.
Okay.
But I was in a leadership role, and apparently this same negativity had come. And they manipulated. They came as friends. They came as total deceivers. Halcyon. I don't know where it was in the Pleiades.
That's okay.
But they came, and they come as friends. They come as, offering and requesting, our guidance and teachings. Like they admired our civilization, and then they quickly infiltrated. They go in at every level. And I got held up here on this one because I felt like I should have known better. But it was, it's okay, because it was my first time around, and that's exactly why I needed to take that role, because the opportunity was going to present, only I didn't see it until it was too late. Damn.
That's okay. And what happened?
We lost a lot of our advancement.
You mean they destroyed it?
Not completely, but they brought the density. The density was really heavy, so we were in ascending close to the next, where some of ours could have gone to collective.
Right.
And they brought them way back.
And was that the purpose of this? Was that their intention all along?
Yeah, because that's where they get fed. They thrive.
By pulling the positivity away from ascending collectives?
Apparently, they needed something. What is it that you needed? Well, they were trying to go for the whole territory, the whole quadrant. They had they went all over. I don't know. Yes. I feel emotional on this one. It's not, why am I emotional? Like it's not coming clear. Hold on. I want to be less emotional, please. It was really just like they did with Earth.
What did they do with Earth? Let's talk about that for a minute. When did they get here?
When did you get here? When did they get here, Gaia? I'm hearing Lyrans. The Lyrans were hybridizing with the Lyrans were hybridizing with this civilization. What? Okay, just say it. Okay. I'm sorry, I'm judging. All right. Did they I don't know if they tricked the Lyrans, but after that, what the hell does that mean? There's a big space. There's a big space in between what they're showing me and then Atlantis.
So these negatives are incarnational? They have a form, a physical form?
No. I don't see that.
You speak of the hybridization.
No, that they weren't hybridizing with them. There was a time that Gaia, when the Lyrans came And I refer to Earth as Gaia. So Gaia opened herself up. She wanted to have the most beautiful experience. She wanted to have the most beautiful experience. Of course she did. And bring all those different frequencies that I collect, similar to that, and make and let them all be delivered to her, so all the experiences could be available. Oh, right, of course, that's why she would do that. So she had opened up herself for all of it. Really?
And then what happened?
I don't know at some point when it happened, but she let those who we now see as have gotten out of control and are too far negative, way out of balance, she let them in because she didn't have that. What is that called? What is that called? When you have a boundary or a
barrier?
Yeah, she didn't discriminate or whatever the word is. She just was open.
So she let the negatives come here?
Without knowing what they were going to do.
Okay. And when they showed up, what were they incarnated when they showed up, or?
Were they? They came through incarnations. They know how to.
Okay.
Yes.
And.
But how did they do that?
What did they incarnate as?
So I'm being shown and told, back into the room, the planning room on screens, that many of those I was not directly here. How they first came.
Okay.
I'm shown different things just to give me an idea, but I wasn't
right. Okay.
Here for that.
Understand, yeah.
Okay. Whew, this is weird. Okay, so, but anyway, I'm seeing Gaia as the most beautiful metropolis of every color, every harmonic. It's beautiful. And there are like little clusters, but you can go from one to the other. And you can collect them and, take them with you if you go wherever you.
Right.
It's really amazing. It's really beautiful. I have questions now.
That's okay.
Okay. So anyway, the Lyrans. There's something with the Lyrans. And to have incarnated beings remain on Gaia. Why? Did something happen to Lyra?
So you're saying that the negative came here with the Lyrans?
No, not at all. I'm not with them. They're the ones that when they came to Gaia, it was the Lyrans that they infiltrated to eventually infiltrate Gaia. Do you understand?
Okay, so the Lyrans came here benevolently, but the negatives infiltrated the Lyrans.
But apparently what I'm trying to figure out is, because I'm getting glimpses of this, that they infiltrated Lyra first. They infiltrated Lyra first But Lyra's travelers like me can come and bring and store their frequencies here. And they also tried to start over here. Like leave a seeding? Leave a seeding.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes. Yeah.
So they left the seeding, but the quote-unquote negatives, because I think this is what I'm feeling. It feels like because they recognized that they had already infiltrated the Lyrans, they knew how to do it again. So when they got here to infiltrate Gaia, they utilized their advantage over the Lyrans to do it. Does that make sense?
Yes. Yeah.
What the heck is this?
Because they understood the energetic frequency required.
Thank you. I don't know what the translation is, but that is right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So that's it. And so by the time I come, I'm back. It looks like I had to go into some kind of in-between because what happened on the Pleiades was too much for me. I needed to take a...
Healing?
Yes, I was going to call it a hiatus, but healing, holding, hiatus, whatever. That, sabbatical. And as I got my groove back, so to speak, that's why he was worried.
Why, who was worried?
My father, mentor, the head of the council.
Okay.
That's why he was so worried.
Why was he worried?
All this time I've been wondering, why wasn't he so confident in me and why did he worry about me? I think now I see that because of what I had gone through in the Pleiades, he was worried if I can withstand what... Once you come in, you go back out, but you actually stay. You have to stay, like my frequencies, once you get Earth incarnation down, descend down.
Yes.
You're pretty much here for the long haul, depending on your circumstances. But in my case, that was because of all the frequencies that I needed to
bring?
To deliver, yes, align, bring, drop. And then all the other things on top because of my multiple abilities. There's much that goes with those frequencies as well as what? So the device that they put on, there's there was something that I came in with.
An energetic device?
What is that? Yeah, it's kind of like a connection monitoring device, like a bug, that I had to carry to a certain point, that at the same time puts me kind of in danger, because what it does, it amplifies the clearing. What?
Just say what you see.
All right. It amplifies the clearing. However, I take on a disproportional amount of the collective energy to clear.
Mm-hmm.
But this device helps it balance.
Right.
But it still has to go through me. And if I get so lost in the game, especially by like dejection and giving up, or, just whatever that is, it'll take me down faster and keep me to where I'll have a harder time transcending it. So that was a piece of it. Wow. But that device has been removed.
When was that device removed?
Last year.
Okay. So you're saying this was a negative device?
No, but it had negative consequences.
Okay.
Because of the fact that the capacity was so exponential to clear collective, it pulled it in. But the ego construct, over time, takes it on and uses it against the consciousness. Because the ego construct is run and manipulated by the negative. So it's always looking for ways to gain power and infiltrate the consciousness. What? Yes?
Hold on just a second now. You're saying the ego is run by the negative. How does that happen?
They have that's what they figured out. They have all of the quote-unquote programs, all the tools around directed at Earth, within Earth, the moon, all of it, all the devices that they put out, all the television, they're all equipped with a signal blocking of the consciousness, so that and sending to the ego thought forms, deprecation, unworthiness, anger. It does it all. It's like mind control.
Okay.
But it can only control the ego mind. It also, no longer can block the conscious from getting through, which is what we've been working on more and more, like getting through, and then exponentially, they can't do it. Even like the chemtrails, everything, that's all by design. The food, the water, the fluoride, the sugar, all designed to degrade the power of your consciousness getting through and allowing the ego.
However, once consciousness reaches a certain level, these programs don't work anymore.
Which is where we're at. Thank you very much. But we were talking about
okay.
when I got here and all that, and what the plan was.
And the implant that was removed from you last year.
Yes, because it was no longer needed. Enough of us reached a certain point that we could all clear the collective and help. The collective itself has been ascending as well. So, yeah, that was not needed anymore. Okay.
So, you went from the Pleiades into the healing construct into another incarnation on Earth?
No, first I stayed up in Arcturus for a long time.
Okay. Let's go there. Let's talk about that. What happened in Arcturus?
I got my groove back.
Okay. How did you do that?
I don't know. I think I just really dove into trying to... I played in a lot of simulations of Earth.
Okay. And what did you do in these simulations? What did they consist of?
All the different environments, locations, experience, weather patterns, all kinds of things. But you know, some were really, they had to gradually keep, we had to gradually keep dropping me in to build up a certain level of tolerance.
Right.
And that's all I wanted to keep doing because of what I experienced on the Pleiades.
Okay. So you went through these simulations of Earth on Arcturus?
Through
Arcturus?
We have, you know, all the different portals and they're just called off-world simulation stations.
Right.
That we do this.
Okay. And as you're here on Arcturus, are you incarnated or what?
I am, actually.
Okay. What do you look like?
I'm really often good-looking, attractive, but all of us are for the most part. There's no one that's not, so it's kind of weird to say. In Earth terms, I was good-looking, and I didn't change in this incarnation. I didn't change a whole lot of those features that I chose there. But I've seen this self before, and I have drawings of that in that being.
Is this the image that you discussed with me of?
I did. I discussed it with you.
All
Yes,
right.
I did.
So, what color was your hair?
Black.
Okay.
Crystal blue eyes. Full red lips. Pale skin that was blue in hue. My face was much lighter than my body. Whatever that means.
That's all right.
And that's only because when I glimpsed it in that surprise, I think I needed to see it where I can accept it.
Right.
So I don't know what truly it was, but I have a flame. We have a flame right here.
On your forehead?
Yes.
Okay.
It's actually like a light here that gives the way that it vibrates.
Yeah.
It looks like a flame.
Okay. And this is something from birth? This is part of the body?
I don't know.
Okay. All right.
I don't know if it was an acquired thing.
Right.
That indicates something. But the biggest thing about that was that I had to get used to the fanned nose. And I'm told that there's actually not noses. They don't actually have noses. They have usually like dots, but my mind was trying to figure out why I didn't have a nose. And I put vents there.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it's so weird. No food. We don't do food.
What did you do?
So I have this whole aversion to food because much of my experiences I could not assimilate into the food aspect of incarnating.
Okay.
I don't know what that's about.
So if you weren't eating food, what were you doing to recharge the body and the consciousness?
So there's something, I can't get it all, but there's something to do when we lay on the slabs of crystal. What is that?
That's okay. Keep going. I've heard this before.
I'm just feeling it. It's so cool. It's literally cool, too. I mean, like in temperature.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we lay on these slabs of crystal. We don't have to do it long. We could if we want. And that's why when I first went there in 2015, through that meditation, when I saw the smoky quartz placid mountains, as I entered, I just cried. That was a signal.
A signal for what?
It's those crystals, like you're one with the beings, you're one with everything, and the crystals carry the source. They hold and carry the source, and you can regenerate your source essence through the crystals, because they are the beauties that hold it for us.
Okay. So they're the translators.
Wow, that's all new. That's crazy.
So they're the translators?
They're translators for sure.
Well, let's do this. Let's go to a point where you're in the body and you're going to lay down on the crystal. And
I am.
Go through that experience and tell us about it.
I'm absorbed.
Okay.
In the energy of source love. And it almost feels like, so if on this day I was in a simulation where it took me out of alignment with my essence, I can actually feel the realignment.
Right. What does that feel like?
It's like this amazing ventriloquial wave that just moves in all directions, and it's like this really quiet ecstasy that's so pure that really nothing resembles it on earth except a newborn baby.
The purity?
Yes.
Okay.
And you see, there's just white, liquid light. Liquid explains the visual of the light. It's absolutely not liquid. But that's what it...
And this light is filling up your consciousness?
Yes.
And as it does this, you feel the balance being restored?
Absolutely.
Okay.
And you can feel your expansion. Like, oh, you're boundless.
Mm-hmm. And you're saying that in these simulations you become unbalanced and then you need to recharge on these...
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And the point of these simulations is to get you used to being imbalanced?
Yes. More and more, I'm going to calibrate my own frequency even while I'm within. It's like the eye of the storm that they talk about.
Right.
So if I can recalibrate as soon as I'm moved off of that frequencies out of...
As soon as you become imbalanced?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I get back on. So I need to master that. Just like, when we master martial arts or whatever else, we have to master holding that.
Okay.
But to realign, because I was going at it pretty hard, I would do that. I mean, we do it anyway.
Right. Okay. So, now that you're all done with the simulations on Arcturus, you're ready to come to Earth, what happens?
Egypt.
Okay. Tell me about it.
I have to go there first. It's part of the plan.
Okay.
Because when we planned as the development of Earth, we had to seed a lot of our technology and the light in certain places. And that is where we had to do it.
In Egypt?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so...
That's my first incarnation. But I started visiting Earth, carrying the frequencies. Yes, that was the life I saw. Yes, yes. It wasn't a life, but it was something. when I was between the worlds, bringing the frequencies.
Okay.
I dove from the cosmos into the stars, and I suddenly was in water, in that beautiful ocean of stars.
Right.
But it didn't feel like water. And then as I got closer to the landmass, there were steps underneath, and I could see all the gold.
Yep.
And then eventually what I learned was that was in fact Atlantis, and which is not at all what a lot of people talk about. Like it's just so convoluted. There's different timelines, I guess. I don't know. But anyway, when I came up and I was bringing frequencies to the monolithic crystals, we have them on Arcturus laying down, a lot of them, and we can lay on them. And we knew about the storage and the technology and all that. And I would bring the frequencies and deliver them to the crystals to store there. Because you can create, right? You create from that.
So you brought energy to the crystals in Atlantis?
The frequencies, yes.
So what happened to these crystals?
I don't know.
Okay. All right, so let's get back to the Egypt lifetime. So you're incarnated now on Egypt. This is your first incarnation on Earth?
I don't know.
That's all right. Doesn't matter. What
happened?
Well,
I know I had been trying before. We had to go in to formulate the plan. And I'm one of those consciousness that likes to also have the experience. So I actually went in. When I saw those thatched huts, that was, to observe how these people live and what they're doing. But then when I went back, as you guided me, and I saw that, me and the being that incarnated as my father, that was more, we were assessing how far, and we had to really formalize the plan after we saw the infiltration, how deep it was.
Right.
But this, when I left Arcturus, this is like, now I'm going in, period. Like, I'm going in. This isn't not exploration, this is...
Right.
This is it.